Pre-industrialization, the mentally ill were taken care of by their family. After industrialization, families could no longer care for their family members with mental illnesses. Because of a lack of time to care for their family members, this led to people with mental illnesses being institutionalized. In the 1800s, mechanical restraints were implemented in institutions in order to control their patients. Things such as straitjackets were used during this time. Beginning in the 1900s, drugs were used to chemically restrain the mentally ill population within institutions. Other medical practices. Lobotomies, which was a procedure to sever connections to the brain's prefrontal lobe, were used, as well as chemically induced comas. This was a way to control mentally ill populations in institutions and make them more docile as a whole. In the 1960s, there was the very important anti-psychiatric movement. This shifted away from medical treatments and institutionalization, as it was beginning to be understood that some psychiatric treatments left the patients worse than before. With this movement, we shift towards rehabilitation. John F. Kennedy, weeks before his death, signed the Community Mental Health Centers Act of 1963. This provided $150 million in order to reform mental health centers. His commitment was in part due to his sister Rosemary, who received a lobotomy at the age of 23, leaving her disabled. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan facilitated massive budget cuts of over 30%, leading to inadequate care for the mentally ill. With lack of care, many became homeless or were imprisoned. A study in 1988 found that within their sample size, 28% of the homeless had a diagnosable mental disease. Modern treatments allow patients a variety of options. One way to seek treatment is through community-based treatment. While drugs are still used today, what the drugs do has changed from sedation to rehabilitation, and medical practices such as lobotomization are no longer used. In conclusion, mental health through the years, and even to this day, has a stigma attached to it. This stigma has slowly changed, just like the treatment for mental illness has over time. Today, there has been a shift to treat the disease itself instead of just the symptoms.
Created using Powtoon.